I know the fans out there are going to enjoy this, but I don't think they're going to enjoy it as much as a guy like me watching these guys race. I did get to race against Dick, but never really against Harry and Cale and those guys. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you don't think you got an unfair advantage, do you?
If I can't beat him, I can outwhip him.
And he will too, won't he?
We're going on different planes. We're not on the same plane.
No, we're not gonna ride home together.
You know what, though? You got to thank Bruce Page for putting this thing on.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I mean, I think that Dick's been doing this for Bruce, and he's been doing it for 20 years.
There ain't nobody could get this group together.
No.
Other than Bruce Page. Because, I mean, you're talking about Cale, Harry Gant, you know, the likes of
Bill
Ernie.
Bill Elliott. Darrell Waltrip.
Yeah, and I'm here.
I mean, DW.
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough money to get us together elsewhere.
What's that famous words in racing now? Used to be, gentlemen, start your engines, but that's taking it over.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
All right.
Let's go racing, boys.
Hey, I'll second that. It is racing's greatest night of champions. Now, our first race, and we're going to have some of the current drivers, and that would be Kerry Earnhardt, Sterling Marlin, Bill Elliott, Jimmy Spencer, and Kevin Harvick getting ready to go. So Elliott will be in this first race here at Wall Township Speedway.
The first race is 15 laps. These guys will line her up, try each other out, see who can win this deal. We're going to have a lot of races tonight, Mike, a lot of good action.
And that's just long enough to really get into some good side-by-side action and for somebody to set up some moves. As you see the 20 of Sterling Marlin pulling out onto the racetrack. These guys ready to get it going here.
Now these guys will lay all over each other in this event here, and this racetrack, Wall Township, New Jersey racetrack, encourages that type of behavior. The way the turns are real tight and high banked.
Yeah, now we've seen everybody's had a great time here so far. We've all had a lot of fun and a lot of smiles and laughter among everybody. But now that green flag's going to come out. Everybody's going to get a little more serious.
Yeah, you want to win. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's fun to sign autographs and reminisce, but when you're both in a race car, it doesn't matter what kind it is, whether you're at Daytona or here at Wall Township, it's all serious business once you start racing.
And we're glad you're with us here for this race of champions, this night of champions. We call it racing's greatest night of champions at Wall Township, New Jersey. This third-mile track, you see the banks there in the turns. I'm Mike Hogwood along with Michael Waltrip. Darrell Waltrip is here as well down in the pits. And 5 cars are going to take the green and have a little bit of a shootout here for 15 laps. On that front row, you see the red, white, and blue car. That is Kerry Earnhardt. And alongside him is Jimmy Spencer in the 4.
This is just the way these 5 cats qualify. They got the fastest guy on the front, Spencer.
Kerry Earnhardt, as we said, had a pretty quick qualifying time as well. And those two are side by side here on the first lap. The 9th car is Bill Elliott. See if he dirt tracks it around these corners.
It looked like in qualifying that these first 3 cats, Bill, Kerry, and Jimmy, had the fastest cars by a couple 3/10. So we'll see if they can parlay their advantage in qualifying into dominance of this event.
Obviously, you want to get down low here, and I think that's where Kerry Earnhardt wanted to go down to try to set up a pass. Spencer was trying not to let him down there.
That was a nice move by Kerry, old crossover move. He was up top, then dove to the bottom and got around Jimmy, and then he roughed him on the straightaway.
That's what short track racing is all about. You got to beat on it a little bit.
And look at Bill Elliott. Can he complete the pass?
He's made it. Kerry Earnhardt now opening up a bit of a lead here, and Bill Elliott has moved into 2nd place.
I know Bill would like to get up there and work old Kerry over a little bit. That'd be good. Good racing.
The 20 is Sterling Marlin and Kevin Harvick. Not able to get that car to work the way he wants to. And look at Jimmy Spencer. He's gone all the way to the back. Well, they strung out single file a little bit now, but I don't think it'll be that way for long.
No, Sterling's getting ready to pounce on Bill here. He's a lot quicker right now. He's got a fender up on the inside.
That's what you want to do on a short track, isn't it? Get it right in the corner there. Get that fender. Oh, how about that? A little nudge from Sterling.
You know, you hear a lot in Nextel Cup racing about he took the air off his spoiler.
Right.
There'll be no air taken off the spoiler tonight. It'll all be done with contact, like you saw there. Sterling roughed Bill up.
He roughed him up again.
That's acceptable, too. You know, that's part of the program here at Wall. I know if they could catch Kerry, they'd rough him up, too, right now, because it's probably making them mad he's driving away from him. I know somebody's making mad, Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce Pratrum not happy with that at all.
He likes to see these cars run close together. Look at there.
Oh my, how about that side by side? Elliott and Sterling Marlin.
That's just as fun as you want to have right there, Mike. A couple of street stock cars, a couple of champion race car drivers mixing it up, and Sterling gets the spot away from Bill Elliott as they exit turn 4.
Seems pretty tough to hang in there on the outside here. You need to be down low to make that pass.
Yeah. We got about 5 to go here. Now we'll see if Sterling can set out and track down Kerry Earnhardt.
I don't know. Kerry has opened up a huge lead. You don't often see that among these guys in this short track racing, and Kerry Earnhardt has just kind of checked out a little bit.
Every now and then a guy will get in a car that just matches up with the way he likes to drive. You know, just coincidentally you get in it, and the cat that was driving it before you likes his seat the way you like yours. He likes the car to handle the way you like your car to handle. It just matches up with your driving style. You can see Spencer there getting around Harvick.
Although with Kerry Earnhardt way out in front, I'll bet Bruce Pratrum makes a decision to invert the field the next time.
Yeah, I bet that might be a valid point there.
Sterling Marlin in second. Bill Elliott is third.
They're closing on Kerry.
Yeah,
might be too little too late, but they are definitely gaining on him. You know, you talked earlier, Mike, 15 laps is enough time for a car's handling to go through 2 or 3 transitions. He might have been good on the newer tires, okay when we were halfway through the race, and now the thing maybe as the white flag falls over top Kerry Earnhardt's car, it might be getting loose with him or pushing, sliding around more than he likes. So that'll be information that'll be handy for him to have as we go to the feature event.
Last time around for Kerry Earnhardt. And it looks like Kerry Earnhardt is going to win here. Sterling Marlin second, Bill Elliott third, Jimmy Spencer is fourth, and Kevin Harvick is fifth after our first 15-lap event.
So our first event is...
Oh, he's getting a little bump from Sterling. Just a love pass.
Sterling's saying, you better be glad I didn't catch you, boy. You think that bump was something. What I delivered out there on the racetrack. You see the finishing order there, the first 15 lap for Earnhardt, Marlin, Elliott, Spencer, and Harvick.
Yeah, Sterling Marlin just didn't have enough time to catch up with Kerry Earnhardt. He had a pretty good fight to get by Bill Elliott. And Jimmy Spencer, you mentioned about some changes there. Seems that things just went away from him from the beginning to the end of that race. Well, Darrell Waltrip, as we said, is here, and he's now down with Kerry Earnhardt.
Well, Kerry, you won the first race tonight. That old car looked pretty good. Did you work on it?
No, I didn't, Dave. Actually, the guys that run this deal, run the car, drive this car and everything, they got awesome cars. Some can go through the corners and take off down the straightaway. And my mirror kept falling down, so I couldn't see how much of a lead I had. I just riding around there the last part of that race. It was a lot of fun. Neat little track here.
Yeah, you look good out there tonight. You know, maybe that'll help the cause, huh? You won a race.
Yeah.
Put that on your resume.
Put it on my resume. Maybe give me a job, you know. Just look at the next race. We got to reinvert, so that's going to be exciting coming up through the field.
Just do like your daddy always did.
Knock
Come
Jimmy
on
out of
through
the way and keep going. We'll do that.
All right, buddy.
That'll be interesting to see what happens to that car when they do reinvert. Well, we've had some inside looks. We've talked with Jimmy Spencer and Dick Trickle, and now Darrell Waltrip is going to sit down with a few of the other competitors who are here tonight. And who is that?
Is he going to sit down with that thing?
He might. Well, let's see if he does. Enjoying these inside looks at some of these drivers, and again, two of the veterans from the Nextel Cup Series, couple of legends here with Darrell Waltrip tonight.
Bill, Casey's doing that 9 number, your old number. He's doing it mighty proud, and I know you've had a lot to do with that, and he's on pole at Pocono. You went over and tested with him. How big of a role have you played in his success?
Well, I can't say that I've been there. I mean, I think you look back on the whole history of Effingham Motorsports and where they've come in the last, especially the last year. I mean, if you look at the last third of last season, between Jeremy and myself, we either finished in the top 5 or top 10 nearly every race. I almost won Kansas City in the fall, come up and won Rockingham, then almost won Homestead there in the fall. Jeremy almost won Dover. So just between that evolution of where they finally got everything in place, I stepped out, Casey stepped in, and he just turned around and put it all together. I've just helped him just in generalities, going to racetracks and just kind of tell him what to expect or what to look for during the race. I came with him to Pocono the other week, and when he did test there one day, and he just unloaded off the truck and he was right there. I mean, he he had a little bit. He struggled a little bit at a place or two, but all in all, he's been able to bring it together and give Tommy and all the guys real good input back on the race car.
You got to tell the folks what you said to that. What you said when you got out of the car down at Homestead last year after having. I mean, you were within a half a lap of winning the race. You hop out of the race car down in turn 1 after you cross the start line. Tell the folks what you were thinking.
Well, at first I was so angry I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to rip a steering wheel off and throw it out the window, pull a gear shifter up through the floorboard and throw it out the window. But anyway, the thing ended up catching on fire. So, I was hustling, getting out, and I got out and I walked around, looked at the car, and I said, I just wish I had 5 gallons of gas. We'd end it right here.
I love that. Hey, Ernie, you haven't raced in a while, but you had a mentor to some degree. I mean, Dale Earnhardt really helped you get your Nextel Cup career started off. But since then, what have you been? You haven't been racing much, have you?
No, I mean I haven't done any racing at all. I mean I've done some odds and ends. I mean driving wise, as far as I've done some of the Patron race the champion deals, a couple of them, and that's about it. Basically when I retired, I mean I pretty much hung my helmet up because I don't really need to get a head injury again. And so, I've just been taking care of the kids and trying to make sure that the family is going forward and, just being able to be there and be a dad. My son is 6 years old. Now he's starting quarter midgets. And Dad's let him down 3 times already. So, and then my daughter is 10 years old. And so she's wanting to be a vet and, hopefully be able to make her own living.
All right, well, what do you guys say we go find us a car and get out on the track and go racing?
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready.
Well, here on Racing's Greatest Night of Champions, we're going to have a modified race. Up in this part of the country, modifieds are king.
Wow.
They love them up here.
You want to know why? Watch what you're fixing to see. You thought the street stocks on this little quarter-mile high-bank racetrack were fun to watch? These things here have got some serious horsepower and some big old tires on them. They can get that stuff planted to the road.
That's what I was going to say. They really stick to the racetrack. And they got as you see, the big footprint on these tires, and these cars built low to the ground, built for speed. And a lot of folks who go to short track racing love to see these modifieds race on a track like this, a third mile with some banking in the turns. It is a lot of fun. And you know what? Jimmy Spencer is in this race, who did some serious modified racing of his own once in his career, and he will be starting from the back, but it'll be fun to see what Jimmy Spencer can do.
Yeah, they told him he was going to bring him up here for the Race of Champions, and he said, yeah, I'll do that if you give me a modified ride. He wanted to get in the real show here, and I think you'll see why. This is crazy fun, these cars here on this track. I thought we'd get us another boogity out of Darrell.
Yeah.
He just sat there.
Can't start a race without doing that almost.
Come on, DW.
We got 24 cars, which is a lot for a track like this, and so there'll be action all over the racetrack. And you put 24 cars on a third-mile track, and there's got a recipe for some action.
That's Spencer there.
In the 66, that's Jimmy Spencer, who will start last.
That's got to feel good. I bet you it takes him back to when he was a kid. That's how he got his start in this sport.
And he really was a great modified driver.
Yeah.
Really good.
He's one of the 50 greatest all-time modified drivers. Mark Rogers, he always runs well here.
Rogers, though, will start back outside the top 5 as you take a look at the starting lineup. Stephen Reed's been fast here all day. Sean Carrick hopes he has something for him. Tim Airy will start third. As we look back through the field, there's Mark Rogers, who will go off 6th. Mike Carpenter's pretty strong, and he'll be in the 9th position.
Yeah, Jimmy Blewett back in 13th. That car always runs well here as well. Look for him. Ken Woolley, he's always strong here. Eddie Bone.
Yeah, the Bone brothers, Eddie's in 88 and Mike in 81. Those guys are both think they can make it up through the field here, as well as Justin Gumlin.
You can check out everybody's starting on sticker tires. That just means the tires are brand new. The labels that they put on them from the factory still stuck to them as they build heat in those tires and work them around in the corners. Those stickers will obviously come off.
And again, that 66, that is Jimmy Spencer, who is here for the Champions races, the Legends race, and former modified star is Gonna check out one of the local modifieds here.
If you wondered how everybody winds up in Nextel Cup racing or how they wind up on the NASCAR circuit, you're watching, along with Kevin Harvick and Sterling Marlin you see there, you're watching how these guys got their start, a lot of guys. It was Saturday night racing just like this all throughout the Northeast, or maybe even in the Midwest. We're getting practice laps here, warming the tires up like I talked about. This is where your NASCAR stars come from, Mike. This is college sports for a race car driver. This is how you learn your craft and you understand about race cars. You understand what it's like to get down in the corner beside someone and race them hard. There isn't such thing as high school racing, you know, it's like there is football and baseball. So you have to really try to make a commitment at a young age to understand what racing's all about, and that's what these guys have done.
And there are so many series, whether it's the Modifieds or the NASCAR Elite or Grand National Series or Hooters Cup or ARCA. They are just so much fun to go watch, and you really are watching the Nextel Cup stars of tomorrow.
And you see these guys right here. I was talking to you earlier about how much fun it is to watch these
cars. They want to be in a car, don't they?
I mean, this is good stuff right here, watching these Modifieds at Wall Township. That's why the fans turn out in the numbers that they do here on a regular basis. And it's also, I mean, we're going to try our best to, you saw how excited Darrell was when the show started. He could hardly breathe.
Right.
And that's the way this racing is. If you're here watching, hopefully we can capture some of that on TV for you guys at home.
And you also see guys like Kevin Harvick and Sterling Marlin, who their lives are so busy and full of personal appearances and racing on the Nextel Cup Series, yet they take time out to come to a race like this in Wall Township, New Jersey, and they're genuinely excited about it.
Oh, it's just as much fun as if you're a race fan, you can't help but just go over the top over the competition you're going to see in these modified cars.
Stephen Reed and Sean Carrick getting ready to lead this modified field to the green flag here at Wall Township. The tires are hot. We should see some great racing as the field bunches up together, double file, 24 strong.
And then to throw a wild card into all this mix, normal Saturday night racing, right? Well, let's put Jimmy Spencer at the back and see how many people he can rough up getting to the front.
And if you think Jimmy Spencer is daring in the Nextel Cup Series, you should see him race in modifieds. Green flag is out here for this 35-lap modified race. Stephen Reed breaks out in front, the pole sitter in the 55.
Not a big surprise there. Like you said earlier, Mike, that car is really running well today.
Tim Airy also running well in the 4-car early.
A little bit different look to these cars going around the track than it was the street stocks that our legends and Cup stars are driving.
One car is spun out. That's Tommy Cottrell, and he's off the pace. And
Mike Carpenter there.
Oh, Mike Carpenter, who
bringing out a caution.
Really has a good-looking machine. Thought he had a shot, but he has spun out and brought out a caution. Mike Carpenter, a little bit of trouble here early, and
decides he'll just pull right up there and get going again.
As well he should.
There's Tommy Cottrell. I don't know if those two cars got together or what. Couldn't really get a good look at it, Mike.
Don't see any damage on them. And
here we go. See what happens.
This night of racing, we'll see if we can catch the. Again, we get the tail end of it there as Carpenter obviously got bumped by somebody. You saw how tight they were racing. That's a great thing about modifieds. I mean, you could throw a blanket over about 20 of these cars.
No damage, though, to the car. Looks like he's going to have to go to the back of the pack.
Jimmy Spencer.
I wonder what old Spence is thinking.
He's thinking this is fun.
I wish we had a guy on in-car radio with him so we could ask him. He always has an opinion on something. Have you noticed that?
I did. I have noticed that. I have noticed.
One more lap and we'll go back to green flag racing. The cars are formed up nicely for a double file restart. Every now and then we do our show on Monday night on Speed Vision, and Spencer will be a guest host. And I always kid him that when he comes on the show, he makes me want to argue with somebody because he always has an opinion with a differing opinion than most folks. And
that's what makes that show fun to watch.
Yeah, we're just hanging out looking for something to argue about.
And one of the great racing shows on television today. Green flag is back out here at Wall Township.
Now these are tense times, Mike. They double the cars up for the restart, so therefore you got a lot of cars in one space, and when you have that circumstance, sometimes it can spell big trouble.
Again, Tim Aery has been the man on the move. That's the black car in second place. Whoa!
Oh, that's not going to work.
3 wide, and
wow.
it does not work. You can 3 wide on this racetrack, and there is big trouble.
No, we didn't.
Harry Reid among those involved in the 14. There's the 24 of Johnny Payne. Short night for him, and there's the 14 that got the worst end of the deal.
Johnny's in some pain too. That's not good.
Harry Reid.
We didn't like the way that was shaping up to start with.
You called that.
You could tell that those guys were a little serious about making some ground there right on the restart. There just wasn't room for 3 cars at that point.
When you go 3 wide, it is really tough.
That cost that dude there about $2 or $3 grand, maybe even $5 grand.
There's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's a big crash, and by the time you place some shocks and some wheels and all the front end assembly to that car, that's an expensive little endeavor there he just got himself into.
It is Sean Carrig.
Started right up front.
We started second, and he had dropped back a little bit on the first couple of laps. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened, but that 3 wide.
Wow. It's really hard to place blame right there as far as what happened. 2 or 3 guys ahead of these fellas that actually wound up crashing, bumped together, lost their momentum, and I think each one of the cats there in the wreck, you could see the orange car going right to the bottom, gets sideways, see the 12 car check up, and you got the 43 up on the outside. They just run out of room because of the fact that some of the guys in the front lost their momentum.
The 24 again is Johnny Payne, and as Michael said, he is in some pain here.
The 54 had fallen back from his front row starting spot to be a part of this mess, and it looked like he was having some trouble exiting turn 2 on the outside.
There's the car of Harry Reid. It's on the hook. Well, while we're under this condition, let's go down and check in now with Darrell Waltrip, who is, as you said, Michael, I think he is with those guys who have been standing by and watching this race.
Hey, Harvey. Hey, guys. What do you think about this race? I mean, would you rather be in this one or that other one? The one you were in? That Udden?
I think I'd rather be in this one.
Would you want to start on pole like?
I want to start on the pole here.
Okay. How about
in anything?
In anything?
Yeah.
What was wrong with your car anyway?
I think I suck.
You got it. It's got a lot of rods down in there. You sure you got in the right gear?
I believe I had it in reverse.
I mean, Kerry smoked you guys off.
He walked the dog on that.
Up front, though, man. I ain't got to him yet.
But you ran second, didn't you? I thought there'd be a debris caution, but then I remembered NASCAR's not running this show, so.
Sterling goes down the straightaway like that.
You mash the gas and go.
I know, on the straightaway.
Broke axle.
Yeah, got too much banking on the straightaway.
They said what we'll do is run the 10 laps on the outside, then run 10 on the inside.
On that little track, yeah, I like that. Say you give these guys a minute, they'll figure it all out.
Yeah, indeed they will. Hey, we may not have NASCAR running this show, but we got Bruce Patrum, and he'll throw a debris caution.
In about 2 seconds, if he thinks it's getting stunk up a little bit.
Right, got Richard Bostic here as well, who is in the flag stand. And
he's our competition director. When we run these races, he gets to town a little bit early and makes sure the cars all are safe and have the seats that each of us different drivers can fit in. Make sure they have rear view mirrors. You hear the first thing Kerry said when he got out of his car? Well, my rear view mirror fell down. I didn't know I was driving off and leaving everybody.
Right.
So obviously he had been told that he got too far ahead. But the funny thing about it, Mike, is in these race of champions deal that you're watching tonight, all Sterling wants is a chance to get up there and run into Kerry.
Yeah, because
so Kerry's
you heard
smart.
him say that.
Kerry's smart by getting far enough ahead where Sterling can't get to him and run into him.
All right, our modified race is back under the green, and the pole sitter Stephen Reed continues to run out front. He's in the blue 55.
24 cars pretty much fill this little third-mile track up. I've been calling it quarter mile, but I guess it's bigger than that, isn't it?
A little bit bigger.
I'll go with the third.
It's a short track, bull ring, and the racing is fun to watch.
Boy, it is. I wish our camera was bigger so you could see all the action. They're side to side all the way back through the field. different places, points.
Mark Rogers has made his way up into second place in the 44. There's the 12, Kevin Flockhart. And look, there's Jimmy Spencer. Racing back with Tim Airy, who's got a fast car. He's in that black car right ahead of the 66. The 66, Jimmy Spencer.
Check out Tim Airy. He just shot right to the outside and made a move. See if Spencer can, yellow flag.
On another, and we have another spin.
That's Ken Woolley in the 15 car.
So Woolley has brought out now our third yellow flag of this 35-lap event.
Having a little trouble getting on a roll here, Mike.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that Woolley was pretty strong today and had high hopes, but spin doesn't help his cause. And where there are not that many laps, it is tough to come up through the fields when there's 24 cars in the field. To come from the back to the front, pretty tough.
Well, like I said, 24 cars pretty much fill this track up. When you got a track this small, full of cars, you're going to have a lot of cautions. There's just no way around it.
And if you're Stephen Reed, you just want to be right out front.
See if we can see what happens to Woolley here. Oh,
wow.
He got on the inside.
That wasn't Spencer, was it?
I think that was Mike Carpenter. He got on the inside of the 80 car and just bailed out. He saw that the 80 was going to come down, cut him a break. Certainly didn't mean to spin himself out in doing so, but that's exactly what happened. You could see the move, the quick move to the inside the 80 made. I think that probably shocked Woolley just a bit. He corrected to the left to compensate for what the car of Ed Carpenter did. Excuse me, Mike Carpenter.
And a good job by the guys behind him of getting on the brakes. And there you see Ken Woolley's car being worked on.
Getting him some tires. He'll have to start the back of the field, but he'll go out there and see if he can't run up through there again. He'll give Mike Carpenter a little bit more room next time, I bet.
Indeed. This is one of those tracks where the pits are actually outside the racetrack. So you have to come outside the racetrack, get your tires, and then go back onto the track as you see Woolley coming back on at the top of your screen.
If you just want to, I mean, if you like thrill rides, if you like roller coasters or bungee jumping, you need to get your modified car and go to Wall Township Speedway and make a few laps. That's as thrilling as it gets. These cars haul the mail around here. We saw Tim Airy make a move to the outside around some cars, and Spencer tried to follow him, and then the caution came out. I think it'll be interesting to see if Jimmy can make any moves after he saw how Airy was going about business. He's pulled right up beside Airy.
Those are one very experienced driver and one really fast car. Airy is fast, and there is
Look at Spencer in there. He looks cool, don't he?
Yeah, he does. What a great camera shot that is.
Oh, I know. I love our camera angles. These guys are doing a great job capturing the intenseness of the action.
So you see the bunch together, and this is where it really gets a little dicey here when the green comes out, and these cars all so close together when they mash on the throttle.
Well, we saw that on the last restart. We didn't make it 2 or 3 laps, and we had a pile up off turn 2.
And again, we have another problem on the restart. But it's just tough to get it going here. That's Kevin Flockhart in the 12, 41 of Shannon Monjo rather.
That 12 car, I was down there a day earlier looking at that. That thing's a piece of art. I mean, it's beautiful. Hate to see him spin it out there, but he got it headed in the right direction. We'll see if Kevin can.
And meanwhile, if you're Stephen Reed, things looking pretty good for you.
Well, when you got a windshield full of nothing, that's good times when the caution keeps falling every lap or two. We just, like I said earlier, we can't seem to get into a rhythm here. Quick caution here, though. We're going to go back to green flag racing here.
Mike, they talk about one of the keys of a short track, and no matter what you're in, is patience. But it's tough to have patience, really, on a restart here when you see that green flag and everybody's so close together.
Well, you only have 35 laps,
right?
So you have to charge. You have to be a go-getter, and I think that's what you're seeing here. Some guys are charging, trying to take advantage of a situation, get to the front as quickly as they can, and we've seen a bunch of guys pay the price.
And again, Stephen Reed on the green flag out in front. Mark Rogers in the 44 right behind him in this modified event.
You can tell right there how close the action is. One guy bobbles, the other guy has to adjust for it.
Michael with 60 right there coming around. Got a little loose a moment ago.
Look at there, rubbing wheels. You don't want to rub wheels in open wheel cars, but that's certainly what happened there. The two of Chris Hamilton's made a nice move up through the field. These guys battling.
Well, he really has. About as long a green flag run as we've had in this event so far. There's Airy in the 4.
Kind of used the 60 up there, squeezed him out top, and he lost 2 or 3 spots there.
Airy trying to make his way up, back up through the field, was running second at one time. Right now it is Reed and Rogers, first and second here. Again, Jimmy Spencer in this field in the 66.
See the trouble he has just maintaining control of that car. That's one thing when you got a lot of power like these cars do, and you're on a tight track like this, Mike. You can see here, battle for 14th position, the 40 and the 41. That didn't work out so well. That pretty 12 car I told you about, I was looking at earlier today, looks like it might be mad at Spencer.
That's Flockhart, right on the bumper of Spencer. Trying to get by Jimmy, and there is another spin. That is, looks like it might be Monjo in the 41 that turned around.
Gonna get a caution out of this deal. Jimmy was getting roughed up from behind.
He really was.
And he got into the car ahead of him. I couldn't see who it was. I think that's
the 93. It's the 93 car, and
Robert Geibel.
But Geibel has spun, and he was one of the guys that was running right with Jimmy Spencer.
Well, Spencer gave him a little help, though. Let's, in Spencer's defense, the 12 of Kevin Flockhart was all over Jimmy.
I think Jimmy's starting to get a little racy here in this event and trying to make his way up a bit. Of course, Spencer, a former modified star before going into stock cars and heading down south. We're going to take a look at a moment here and see exactly what happened. And keep your eye on the 66 of Spencer.
Yeah, and keep your eye on the 12 of Flockhart. Well, doesn't really show it well there.
Yeah, I mean, Flockhart, I think, bumped into Spencer, and it was like a chain reaction.
I think Spencer decided he needed to get away from Flockhart, and Geibel was in the way.
Flockhart gave some help. But you see those, I don't know if they're called bumpers, but they're very strong on the front and rear of those cars. That's one of the great things about modified racing, particularly on a bigger track when you see them. You really see that bump draft come into effect.
Yeah, they really draft well because they're aerodynamically, they're a mess. You know, they don't get through the air well at all. So therefore, when they get on the bigger tracks, you can see some good draft. And this is a restart. We talked earlier, these are 10th times. You double these cars up like this on a little bitty track like this, and you're asking for trouble. And so far, we've seen a lot of trouble, huh?
We have seen a lot of trouble. And with them running this close, we may see trouble again here.
Mark Rogers. Oh. Top of the screen,
wow.
Mike.
Mike Carpenter is in it in the 80. He has had a really tough night. There's Geibel again in the 93. And also the 41 of Shannon Moncho.
Let's try to see what happens here, Mike. I think what it is, it's just a result of a lot of cars trying to occupy the same space. Darn, one car got up in the air a little bit.
We're voted number 1 by NASCAR in NASCAR.
Apparently there's one to go now. We'll see him bunch up once more. And let's hope for a couple of laps at least of some clean racing. Ready to go back to green here at Wall Township Speedway. The blue car is Stephen Reed. He has been fastest all night. But watch the 44 on the restart. That's Mark Rogers alongside him.
Can he snooker Reed this time? No.
Boy, great restart.
Yeah, he got out of Rogers. Learned a lesson from the last restart where Rogers was able to get around him. Fortunately for Reed, the caution came out and put him back in charge. That's why a lot of people think NASCAR should revert back to the last completed lap. you work your tail end off to pass somebody and they just give it away, it's kind of hard to take. And I'm sure Roger's a little bit disappointed that that's what happened to him there. But those are the rules, so you have to play by them.
Well, there's still some beating and banging on these cars going on out here.
Cars kicking sideways all throughout the field, aren't they? Look at there. Rogers to the outside.
Monjo in third. Jimmy Blewett, we haven't talked about him, but he's made his way to fourth.
He always runs good here. Every week.
Well, we are just past halfway in this race.
See the two there of Chris Hamilton. He got dead sideways actually in the corner, but was able to hold on to that spot. His car looks like it's pretty loose.
Rogers fighting to hold on to second place.
Oh, wow, look at there.
There's a spin.
Mike Carpenter, excuse me.
Again, what a tough night for that 80.
No caution. Slides to the infield, so officials decide not to throw a caution, get some good green flag action in here.
That's a good thing.
You know, it's pretty easy to see why there's so many cautions. These guys are running into each other every lap. But that's just the nature of this little tight bull ring here.
It's one of the ways you pass. If you give a guy a little tap on the back, jump inside of him.
It's an art. And
yeah.
Some people are better artists than others. And when you see someone that's a bit of a crude artist, the caution flag will fly shortly thereafter. I thought Rogers had something for our leader, Stephen Reed. He drove up on the outside of him, but Reed's been able to scamper off since then. You can see Spencer mixing it up back in traffic. He's using that outside like we saw Ari do earlier, trying to get around the outside of the 0-2. That's Justin Grumley.
But Grumley's doing a good job of holding Spencer off.
Yeah,
Spencer had to get out of the gas a little bit.
Yeah, he got sideways and lost a couple of spots.
Whoa, and trying to get by Spencer and turning around is the 41 of Shannon Bonjo. Spencer held his line, and Bonjo on the inside of him got turned around. And the yellow flag is back out.
Is his arm tired, you think?
He's had a busy night.
Kind of reminds you of Dover on the Cup side.
Yeah, that was something.
And then last week at Pocono again, a lot of laps under the caution.
And finishing it under caution.
Yeah. But the fastest car, despite the troubles he had getting on pit road and all throughout the day, Jimmy Johnson certainly was the car that was the fastest, and he was able to get the victory up at Pocono. Wonder what Spencer's thinking now, Mr. Excitement. Seen a couple of guys spin out, up in the middle of all kinds of action.
I think Jimmy Spencer's having the time of his life.
Oh, I guarantee
now.
you. I can't explain to you how much fun it is to get in one of these little cars and beat and bang and race your tail end off all night long. One more lap and we get to see some more of it. Green flag racing.
Well, the caution did not last long. We're about ready to go back to the green here and see if anybody has anything for Stephen Reed. There he is out in front in that blue 55. Mark Rogers has been behind him for most of the night. And he's behind him now on the restart.
Past halfway, so we go back to single file restarts.
And Reed again gets a good jump and has nothing but a clean racetrack in front of him.
Cars sound good, don't they, Mike?
They do it, you know, and you really can get the sense of how they stick to this racetrack, and fun to drive through the corners here with this bank. It'll get a little spread out after that single file restart. Rogers having to fight to hold on to second place. Jimmy Blewett putting a lot of pressure on him. That's the battle for second.
Yeah, that car's running really good. That's the sister car to the one Spencer's driving. He's driving one out of the Blewett stables as well.
Have you ever had a chance to get in and drive one of these modifieds?
Not a full-blown modified. I've driven some dirt modifieds before, but not a car just like this. Various forms of a modified, but not one with big old tires on it like these.
Guys having a lot of fun here. And, you know, I go back to what you said. When you've got guys like Sterling Marlin, Kevin Harvick, Harry Gant standing up watching you race, you feel a little pressure. You're a guy that's racing here every week.
You want to perform. You can see Ken Woolley there. There goes Blewett to the inside of
Yeah, that's a battle
Rogers
for second place, and it looks like Blewett's going to take it away from Rogers, although Rogers not giving it up easily. So Blewett now in second. Rogers right behind him. Rogers in that red 44. The 91 is Richard Mongeau. Shannon Mongeau's brother.
I figured out why that thing did what it did. I was racing with Sam. We were racing for the lead, and we just touched a little bit going into turn one, and all of a sudden my car just went airborne, went over the top of his car, out of the racetrack, never touched the guardrail or anything. So yeah, I had some fond memories. That was a bad memory, Darlington, along with the good memory too.
Well, I thought you might say that your most fond memory was when we made that album, NASCAR Goes Country, and you sang King of the, no, you sang a song on there. You remember?
I don't, 10 days on the road.
That's it.
Whatever it was.
10 days on the road.
But wasn't it good? Didn't we make so much money?
Oh, yeah.
We're still living off that record.
Very successful.
Cale looks great, doesn't he?
just reminiscing, enjoying the old times.
All right, we're ready to go now with our second race of champions. These are guys who are current drivers, and Kerry Earnhardt, who just checked out in the first one. I don't think that will happen here.
No, he's starting back on the second row, right alongside Kevin Harvick. Excuse me, right ahead of Kevin Harvick.
Harvick's in the 29, and the red, white, and blue 33 is Kerry Earnhardt. The 20 is Sterling Marlin. The 4, Jimmy Spencer, and the 9 is Bill Elliott.
They got Kerry hemmed in. It'll be interesting to see if he can work his way through them and win again. He dominated the first race for sure. This is heat number 2, second race of champions for these current NASCAR stars.
And we saw a lot of beating and banging in these street stock machines, as you mentioned, Michael, and these are very, very different from what these guys drive on Sunday afternoons.
Well, they're just so much fun to drive. Like I said, you can rub all over one another, lean on one another, and still make it around the racetrack. You won't see near as many cautions as you did in the modified race, because the modified cars, you know, if you bump wheels there, something's got to give. And these cars, you can bump all over each other and still make it around.
And that's kind of what makes it fun to watch.
Oh, I think it's great.
Well, Spencer on the inside in the 4, Elliott outside in the 9. So it's going to be interesting to see when this race starts who gets the better of it. The green flag is out.
Bill's on the outside. Looks like he's got a good run on the outside. Sideways off turn 2. Spencer comes up the hill.
He dirt tracked a little bit. Did Elliott going around? Now watch Elliott.
Man, side by side the whole way, the whole lap.
How about that? Some great racing here up front between Spencer and Elliott.
Looks like synchronized driving, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Kerry Earnhardt has made his way to 3rd place, but he has nowhere to go to get around these guys.
Well, I know Kerry, and he probably won't use a whole lot of patience here. He sees these guys too wide. He'll see that as an opportunity to get himself mixed up in that deal.
Down on the inside, you would think is where you want to be, but Bill Elliott's not giving any ground. Look at the back end of that number 9.
Sideways, hanging it out off the turn. We saw him try to go 3 wide in the modified race off 2 right there. That didn't work. Wonder if these guys were watching that when that happened.
I'm sure they were.
You can see Sterling, he's got a real strong car. He actually was closing on Earnhardt late in that first race. He's driven up to the back bumper of Kerry.
Boy, some great racing here between Spencer and Elliott, and now here comes Kerry Earnhardt.
Spencer just can't clear Bill Elliott. He can't get his car. Oh, Kerry spins out.
Oh my God. Kerry Earnhardt gets turned around. Didn't quite see who it was that touched him.
The Super Dave Osborne lookalike car got sideways off 4. I think Sterling was right on him.
We heard Sterling talk earlier. He wanted to get up to him.
If he could get to him, he would remember it. And I think maybe Sterling just made his point.
So Kerry Earnhardt will now catch back up with the field.
Let's see if we can tell what happened, Mike. You see the two leaders, Spencer and Elliott, side by side. Kerry's already turned. I would almost have to think maybe Sterling got a hold of him. It's hard to spin one of these little cars out without a little help.
I would think Sterling had a little bit to do with it. But look at the close racing here.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that's Sterling right into the side there. A little love tap.
There they go, back to action.
And again, they're still side by side. The 9 of Bill Elliott, the 4 of Jimmy Spencer here in this Race of Champions in Wall Township, New Jersey.
Kerry thinking about making it 3 wide down the backstretch, decides better of it. Drives up under Harvick.
How tough is it to hang in there on the outside on a tight course like this?
It's equally as difficult to do what Spencer's doing down on the bottom. You see, Bill's taking away the exit of the turn. Bill's making him keep that car pinched to the bottom of the road. Very difficult tread for Spencer right here to get grip in that car enough to stay ahead of Bill. Bill's got momentum on his side around the outside. But what I think's great is they both come off the turn sideways every lap. Look at them.
And then somehow get it straightened back out and head down the straightaway.
Sterling's starting to get mixed up in this action. Kerry's
before
right
this is over, watch out for Sterling Marlin. He's got a pretty good car.
And now you see Kerry right on Sterling's bumper. Will he return the favor? Halfway.
I don't know. I think they're even. Well, I'll tell you what, he tried. And Sterling's able to keep the car straight.
What about old Harvick? He had a little bit of problem getting that car qualified, but now he's able to hang right with these leaders. Looks like the pace lap, Mike.
It is really tight racing.
Sterling's just looking for a hold, looking for a way to make a move.
Nobody is giving an inch here.
Kerry's all over Sterling. He's trying his best to figure out how to get up under him or swing to the outside.
Sterling's doing a great job.
Look at Bill.
Hanging on. I'm telling you, Bill Elliott has done a great job of racing here.
He's just sliding around on a Sunday, or excuse me, a Friday evening.
Spencer, you would have to think, might have a little bit of an advantage right now, but Elliott still not giving ground.
Bill slipped there. Slipped and lost about a car length to Spencer. Can Sterling jump in there and take advantage of it? Look at Bill turning that thing sideways. I don't know if he can hang on much longer. Looks like he's going to spin out.
Sterling gave him a little bit of help, and again, Bill Elliott had to get off the gas a little bit. And Sterling Marlin now in second place.
Bill drops to the back.
He's going to try to make another run at it. White flag is out.
I'll be darned, led the race right there at the lead the whole way when white flag falls.
But watch Sterling here on this final lap. Does he have a move in him?
He got to the outside. Oh! Jimmy Spencer by nose.
Jimmy Spencer hangs on in a great race. Just does edge out Sterling Marlin.
Looked like Kenseth and Kane coming to the checker at Rockingham. Those guys were battling so closely.
Kevin Harvick third, then it's Kerry Earnhardt and Bill Elliott. Wow, that's a sign of things to come tonight. We're going to have...
I can't wait to get the other cats out there.
Yeah, I know, the legends. Get the legends out there and
mix them up with these guys at the end of the night. That's going to be a good race.
It'll be exciting.
There's the winner, Jimmy Spencer. He's been a busy man tonight. A couple of heat races. Now he just finished a 35-lap modified run. Richard Bostic checking with Spencer, asking him how he likes the way his car is driving. Obviously, he likes it a lot. This is the last lap. Sterling got to the outside of Jimmy. Look at there. Sideways.
Harvick tried to mix it up a little bit.
Just by a nose, Spencer gets the win.
Well, Sterling gave it a great run. But it was all Jimmy Spencer said and done. And Darrell Waltrip again down there, and he has caught up with one of our competitors tonight. I think he's got Sterling with him.
Little hot in there, isn't it, baby?
Little hot.
Yeah, you know what? I want to talk to you before Kerry gets up here.
He just slipped. He got loose coming off. I didn't hate to get into it.
I know you did. I thought you was going to get by old Jimmy there, though. You had him on the outside, just didn't have quite enough.
Yeah, we just didn't get a good run up off the corner, got too loose. And
What happened on that start? It sounded to me like you missed one of them rods wasn't right there.
I don't know which one to pull. There's too many in here.
Is this not like Saturday night at home?
Just like it, Having a good time.
Yeah, we need a Buford and a Binkley and a couple of those kind of guys. We'd have a great time out here.
Have a big time. Have a lot more wrecks.
That's our runner-up, Sterling Marlin.
Hey, DW, go find Spencer, see what he thinks about all that.
Yeah, he's over here. Let's get Jimmy. Let's see where he went. Excuse me.
He'll track him down. I think. Yo, bro.
Oh, you're going after me after that modified deal, ain't you?
I mean, you're at your home track. I guess you'd consider this one of your favorite tracks, and I thought you were going to get shut out tonight. Nice job in that feature there.
Yeah, you know, the modified race, starting in the rear herd. That was an awesome race car. I wasn't up to the task. I think the car was plenty fast enough. But, you know, Darrell, I'm a little rusty.
I don't know. You look pretty good in this hot rod here. Maybe you ought to carry it over to Pocono, run it tomorrow.
I'll tell you, I could never get by Bill cleanly. Never could get by him, And I says, if I ever could get by him, I might get a run. And then all at once I got to pushing. Oh, no.
We got to fight. Well, I knew we'd have a fight, Spencer, because I told you we'd have to fight our way out of here.
Yeah, but see, folks, look, I'm here, me and my buddy DW, old boogity. Really, and then once I got by him, I said, I'm okay, and then I got to push, and I drove in a little too deep. But then Sterling come up, So this is going to be interesting. We race against these old veterans.
Yeah, it will be. And, of course, it got right here on the back of the car. It tells it all right there, Mr. Excitement.
Mr. Excitement has done it, huh?
You can, we're excited about when these guys get together with the veterans. You see the finishing order there, Spencer, Marlin, Harvick, Earnhardt, and Elliott. We're fired up about watching these guys race together. Just think how Spencer and Harvick and those guys feel about racing against the veterans, too.
I cannot wait. Right now, we've got another inside look with DW.
All right, Rookie, what are you doing? You got here to get a little seat time tonight? What are you doing?
Well, I'm out here to get some seat time, meet with a lot of race fans. That's the main reason that we're here, is to meet with the race fans. And for me, it gets me away from the racetrack, and we just get to go out and have a good time.
Yeah, I think it's neat to come to tracks like this. You grew up doing this kind of racing.
I grew up on the quarter mile, half miles, 3/8 miles, all asphalt, no dirt.
No.
I'm bad at dirt.
I hated dirt. I didn't like dirt. I didn't want to get my clothes all dirty.
That's a fact. But it's fun to go back and do these things just for the fact that we all grew up racing Saturday nights. The people like to go out and watch Saturday night racing, and I still enjoy it. Delana always asks me, well, why do you do things like that? Because I enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun.
It's a way of getting away from all that high pressure, the tension.
I don't have to stay at the racetrack and worry about my race car. I come here and hang out with all my buddies.
Yeah.
And have a good time.
Yeah. How about you, Marcus? You hanging out with all your buddies tonight? I see some guys over there, our vintage. That's Harry Gant, Cale, and some of those guys, old memories, huh?
Yeah, it really is, Darrell. And this is a neat deal. I enjoy doing this. And I, too, started in Wisconsin on the quarter miles and third miles, Saturday nights and Friday nights and everything. And Nashville, Tennessee used to come over.
Oh, yeah, baby.
We had a few good races over there.
We had some battles over there, man.
Yeah.
Tore that old Hemi down a couple of times.
Yeah, you rascals, you sure did.
Have you done a lot of these days?
No, not that many of them, really, Darrell. I've been pretty busy hunting and fishing this spring, chasing in turkeys.
Well, have you caught anything? That's a question.
Yeah, I hunted turkeys in Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, and Wisconsin.
I hunted a few turkeys in Alabama myself. What do you expect tonight, Dave? You're going to run with in the Legends race. Who do you think will be your competition? Because I think you got an edge. You look in better shape than them other guys are a little puny looking.
Well, yeah, a few of them are getting a little puny looking. Boy, that hair again, he looks pretty sharp.
He looks like he always does.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, you think Harvey? You think you can take him?
Yeah, Kevin will be all right. Kevin's used to that big, high-powered stuff,
Yeah, y'all drive for children. Both of you have, so kind of know each other pretty well, I guess. What do you think? Can you handle these veterans?
I don't think so.
They're tough, aren't they? Got that experience.
It's a lot of experience, and there's a lot of different. I think the breeding of the race driver was a lot different then.
Oh, I think it was too.
I think these guys are used to manhandling 35, 36, 3,700 pound real stock race cars, heavy, no power steering.
No power.
I don't know that I'm tough enough to do that.
You're not.
I'm sure Harry will run well.
Harry will be good, yeah.
You're right. I cannot wait to see that. Now, right now, these fans getting ready, just as we are, to watch the trucks race here. And you see that number 9 truck? Bill Elliott is behind the wheel of that truck.
He got in a truck?
Yep, add a little excitement to this race. Bill Elliott will be one of the 10 drivers in our truck race. Our starting lineup, Bruce Van Doherty and Joe Helberg are on the front row.
Bill Elliott starting on the inside of row 3, starting in 5th. This is going to be fun to see how Bill fares with the local guys here.
We'll go 20 laps.
Let's go 5 more. You want 2 more?
All right, okay.
Let's go 25.
Let's go 25. I think we should go 5 more laps.
We can make up the rules as we go. We're in charge, aren't we?
No, Bruce Patram's in charge, but he'll let us do that.
Well, Daryl, I can tell Daryl what to do,
Bruce,
can I?
Yes, you can.
All right, good.
Yes, you can.
I like that when I told him to go find Jimmy Spencer and he did it. I usually don't.
I did too. I didn't know he often did what you tell him to do.
I didn't know he did either. There's the start. Green flag's out. Bill Elliott at number 9, starting from the 5th spot. See if he can fight his way through this mess. Uh-oh.
Was already one truck has spun.
Remember when I said there wouldn't be as many cautions in this race?
Well, there's not one now. You see some sparks flying. That was Walter Sotti who spun in the 18 truck.
Yeah, they're going to have to throw the caution.
Yeah, he's not able to get it going, get it turned around. Walter now gets the thing turned around. 46 is Steve Naylor. There's Walter Sotti in the 18. There's Bill Elliott. Got off to a pretty clean start.
What about old Bill? He just decided he needed to race him a truck race tonight, too, while he's in town.
You know, while you're here, you might as well. You put Jimmy Spencer in a modified and Bill Elliott in a truck.
That is so fun. That just shows you how much these guys like to race, how much just driving means to them. You can forget about all the glory and all the money and just strap in and race somebody. That's huge. See a replay here of the 18 truck. He just gets loose off 2 and watch him overcorrect. Thing hits the apron and cuts back up toward the racetrack.
Yeah, I don't think he had any help going around. I think
his truck
loose there.
His truck looks taller than everybody else's. You think? Looks like he might have
a little bit.
He could have went to the monster trucks racing with that thing.
I don't. Tires aren't big enough.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It looks unstable a little bit.
Well, as you mentioned, it is really interesting just seeing all the different styles, makes of trucks that are here. Double file now, ready for a restart to try to get going again. Again, a 25-lap race here with the trucks.
Guy got a good start.
Back under green.
Is that Kerry's teammate? He looks like he's driving Super Dave Osborne truck. Oh, wow.
That's Bruce Van Doherty is in the 77.
Joe Helberg ran all over the top of them when they got to turn 1.
Helberg in the 72, the black truck. Gary Stanzioni in the 12. Still running strong. Look at Bill Elliott making his way towards the front. But he's something Bill Elliott wanted, wouldn't he?
He's going to give it. He's going to see what he can do. Bumps into Helberg there.
3 wide. Wow.
Now, we saw you can't do that in the modified, but these cats worked it out. Elliott to the inside of Van Doherty.
Boy, these guys are all over the racetrack.
Bill Elliott's up to 4th.
That 77 truck's got kicked back a little bit. Started out front. 21 of Scott Meyer. Those tires squeal as they go through the corners.
Check them out. I like watching. Oh, Joe, he's wheeling that number 72 truck, isn't he?
Indeed he is.
Bernie Bailey right on him. Got the bird line to the bottom. Bernie Bailey completes the pass off turn 4. He's going to set out and try to stalk down the leader.
Now white 4X.
Elliott's driven up onto the back of Joe Helberg. Steve Naylor is in hot pursuit of
And you know what's going through these guys' minds thinking, Bill Elliott is out here racing with me tonight.
They're thinking it's pretty cool, I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Bill got into Hellberg there. Looks like he flattened his tire.
And Hellberg turns around with the flat tire. Also, the 13 of William Weichert goes around.
Bill got on the inside of the number 72, Joe Hellberg. Joe held him down, and I think it popped Bill's tire.
Well, Bill Elliott looks like he's in pretty good shape.
No, he's going to have to go to the pits. He's got a flat right front. Young man enjoying helping out the ceremonies here.
You see that a lot at short tracks, and a kid will bring a set of flags with him and help out the flag man, just have a great time.
Well, you remember at Dover for the longest time, there was a young man that would stand there with on the front straightaway and do the flagging. Now he actually works for NASCAR, so he parlayed his love for auto racing into a career.
Well, Bill Elliott now will make his way in, but he will have to come from the rear of the field in the 9 truck.
Get back going here.
Hopefully we'll be ready to go back and get the green. I guess he gets his position back.
Well, it looks like he thinks he does. Sorting out the scoring, Mike, right now. That's something that sometimes gets a little confusing on the
That's
short
hard
track.
no matter what series you're in sometimes.
Yeah, they've had some trouble with that at the NASCAR Nextel Cup level.
Right.
I like seeing the trucks that are painted like some of that 18 truck. That looks just like the Dana Dodge Joe Ruttman used to drive for Bobby Hamilton. And then there's a red number 8 that looks a whole lot like Dale Jr.'s Budweiser car that he races on Sunday. So some of these guys have put their favorite drivers' paint schemes on their trucks. There's the 8, as you can see, slipping by on the inside.
It's kind of neat to see out here. These guys, of course, are all fans of, as you mentioned, this is a lot like maybe a high school or college sport, as the Nextel Cup is the big level.
You know what's fun about this? You never know what someone's agenda is. We watched that modified race, and there were guys that have been racing modifieds for 20 or 30 years, and then when you get to victory lane, a kid 19 years old jumps out. He's just starting his career. So in these trucks here, there's liable to be guys that have raced their whole lives just doing it for the fun of it, and there also might be a 16-year-old kid trying to get his start in NASCAR racing.
Well, the green flag is back out, and Stampione is back out in front. Opens up a couple truck lengths lead.
I don't think anybody's got anything for Stampione right now. I thought the 4 of Bailey could do something with him, but I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
I think that he is pretty much the class of the field right here, but there's one of the interesting things to watch. We're going to watch and see what Bill Elliott can do.
Whoa.
Oh, the 21 truck in a little bit of trouble getting together with the 33.
Sparks flew, but everybody kept going.
Bill Naylor in that 33 truck. Again, you can hear those tires as they rumble down through the corner here.
Those are just street tires, and they're putting them to the test. Here comes the 46 up on the inside. Can he complete the pass? Oh, Bailey's got a bad push. That truck started pushing bad off turn 4.
46 is Naylor.
Look at,
boy, he's in trouble now.
I think the 4's got a flat.
Bernie Bailey in that 4, losing a lot of speed. You see Glenn Higgins in the 8 getting by him.
Maybe Bailey doesn't have a flat, but that thing, it was handling so well. He's hanging right with the lead, and then he just started pushing terrible.
Sometimes when you get folks beating and banging on you and you get all out of shape, you just need a second to regroup, don't you?
Punt. That's the bad thing about a track this size. You don't have a second to regroup. It happens so quickly. You take a second off and 2 or 3 guys will be around you.
It takes about 15 seconds to get around this racetrack.
Good battle here between Higgins and in the 8 and the 4 of Bailey. Hey, the number 15 truck had a nice NASCAR sticker on it there. Uh-oh, something fell off the truck.
Whoa, and Elliott just ran over
it. Another flat tire?
You kidding me? Boy, he had no choice but to run over it.
I would say that team probably only brought one spare. You're not supposed to have a flat tire.
Take a look at it again. There's a piece of debris out on the track.
That's a tailpipe off somebody.
Well, he's got another flat right in front. He's going to have to go back to the pit area and get it changed again.
I bet you he just says, heck with this, boys. 2 flat tires is enough for me. Somebody might be trying to tell me something.
I don't know. Not if it's Bill Elliott's decision. Maybe he'll come back out and run.
Getting the track cleaned up. Cautions on the speedway, obviously.
So hopefully we'll be able to go back green in just a moment and Bill Elliott will be able to rejoin. Let's see if we can see what happened.
You can see it coming out from under the Ford truck. Is part of his exhaust system.
That's Bernie Bailey, and there's Elliott just running right over it.
Bam. Look at the sparks fly.
Goodbye to that tire. Really nothing he can do there. It's just right in front of him.
That's that rubber and metal thing again. All right, I'm gonna end this discussion. I think they all have window nets. You just can't see them very well. They're tiny, tiny nets.
There they are. You're right.
There's the bright colored orange. Number 12
remains out front.
Jerry's got it under control so far. Thought maybe the Ford truck of Bailey had something for him. It doesn't look like it. See if the 46 of Steve Naylor can make anything happen here.
Taking a little while to get this cleaned up. We still haven't seen Bill Elliott return to the track yet, but you're right, they probably had to go look for another tire.
Yeah, you only budget 1 tire for a spare, not 2. These guys never have flats. There's your restart.
Be a little battle for 4th place there.
Is that Weichert?
Higgins in that red truck, still running strong. Glenn Higgins. Higgins been in the top 5 about all day, but he's getting past now. Bill Naylor's gone by, Weichert has gone by. 33 is Bill Naylor. Naylor trying to get on the inside of him here. That is for 5th place. Bill Naylor, who is Steve Naylor's brother.
Cousin, uncle,
maybe.
Dad.
From the same family. You know, we heard from Steve Reed, who won the modified race, talk about how his whole family was out here tonight helping him with his car. That's the way it is. There's a lot of families, and sometimes you'll see a couple of guys from the same family running. Hey, here's the battle for the lead.
I thought that was going to heat up. It looked like, oh, caution. Number 19, Jimmy Weiss.
Well, that was Steve Naylor, who had made his way up to the front in the 46 truck.
His truck looked like it really was coming in as the race went on, Mike. He started to close ground on Stanzione and then was right there when the caution flew.
Jimmy Weiss is spun, and the caution is back out. Weiss actually running in the 3rd position when that caution came out. Let's see if we can't get another look at what happened. You're right. Look at that window net. You're right. It doesn't look like there's one, but it's a different kind of window net than you normally see on a race car.
That one you can check it out because it's orange, but the black ones you can't really even tell they're in there. Uh-oh. Wasn't quite clear of the 13. And then the 13 decided that was rude to cut him off like that, so he crashed it.
Green flag is out. Down towards the end of this event.
Good start for Naylor in the 46. He got right on Stanzione. This is a great battle. You can see Jerry looking in the mirror, checking out where Naylor was at as they came down the back straightaway.
Naylor boys are in the 46 and the 33.
And
you do a little blocking at this point in the event, down towards the late in the race, don't you?
You do, and you can tell that by watching Jerry Stanzione in the 12 Look at that mirror coming down the back straightaway. Watch his head as he heads down the back and get another view of that. He was concentrating on what was going on behind him. See him there looking up. Now he turns and looks toward the corner. Naylor's already got his attention once, bumped the back of that truck.
Trying to stay out in front down
Surely
the final stages.
His brother won't run him over, will he?
I don't know. You know what? When you go for the win,
if he don't like the way he's taking care of business, he might decide, Phil might decide he needs to get up there and rough up Stanzione. 2 to go. Great battle for the lead.
Stanzione hanging on, but Naylor is right there in the 46. The other Naylor in the 33.
Now there's 2 to go.
Lap truck. Hurts Naylor and his chances.
It seems like the 46 is faster of the two. One more lap. But the 12 truck is right where the 46 wants to be. Can he keep that truck pointed in the right direction? Watch, look at him, look at that mirror.
What a great job of blocking the track.
He holds on.
Stanzione taking the checkers, and he wins the truck race. Good finish for Jerry Stanzione in the 12. The Naylor boys come in second and third. Steve Naylor in the 46 truck was second. Look at him stick his finger out the window. It's a good job.
There you have it. Gonna do some donuts or no?
Maybe just turn it around.
Turn it around. Back it on up and take it on home.
And he'll be getting that checkered flag.
There he goes. Right up on the front straightaway. This is the part where I can make Daryl go over there, right?
Yes, you can. How about doing that?
Yeah, I will. Daryl, you've got a responsibility to get down to the start-finish line, check in with Jerry Stanzione, maybe swing by the Naylor boys and ask them what they think about all the action they've seen. Do you think that he will listen to anything that I'm saying at all, Mike?
I know he will, because I see him going over there right now. Now let's go down to TW.
Hey, Jerry, nice job, man. First win of the year. But what happened to the roof of the truck?
Well, that's the overexcitement of getting out. Getting the first win in a year and the first one in 2.5 years. That's okay. I can fix that tomorrow.
You did a great job tonight holding everybody off. What about the guys behind you? Were you worried about those guys?
Well, I know they're really fast, but I know they're really good guys and they drive real well. So I know if they're going to pass me, it was going to be clean.
He was sure excited. Time now for another inside look with DW.
Now, Harry, I'm not trying to embarrass you, but they always called you Handsome Harry. How do you stay in such great shape at 80 years old like you are?
Just quit racing. Ain't got no worries now, no headaches. Just get up every morning.
What do you do? You always were in great shape. How do you stay in such great shape?
Well, I get up every morning at 4 o'clock and I do exercises and I do construction and I raise cattle on the farm and work all the time, and then I just do it every day.
Sterling, are you a grandfather, Harry?
Oh yeah, four grandchildren.
See there, and Sterling, he just became a grandfather. So you're right in there, kind of like I am. You could go either way, you know. You could run with the old guys, or you could run with the young guys.
I'm getting on the borderline.
Tell me something. This a lot like what we used to see in Nashville, Tennessee, right here. Little racetrack, Saturday night racing.
That's it. A lot of knocking and banging. Just like me and you started it when you started, and I started, and didn't have much money, but we had a good time.
Oh yeah,
didn't make money either.
I remember we may leave home and we may forget the toolbox, but we never forgot the beer cooler, did we?
That's exactly right.
We leave the race car home, we're gonna get that beer cooler. Tell me about you. How's your year been going? You got hurt there a year or so ago, and it almost seems to me like you just struggled ever since that happened. Has that had any effect on you?
No, not a bit. We should have won a couple races last year in Michigan and Pocono, and just hadn't hit it this year. Run good at Martinsville, run good at Bristol, and just hadn't hit the combination that we needed. So running good here was second quickest in practice today, so that was get us win at Pocono.
How about old Glove? Does he help you any?
He don't do much anymore. He walks around. He's got them supervisor roles.
Harry, you gonna drive number 33 tonight, the Skoll Bandit?
Number 33, that's right.
Yeah. Have you been doing any racing?
No, I race once a year with Cale. We do one race a year with Bruce. Cale Pearson and Buddy and me.
Do you think, Harry, let me ask you something. Do you think these young guys could hang with us with, with all the technology they got today and power steering? Do you think they could run 500 laps at Martinsville without power steering and without their cool boxes and all that stuff?
I don't, and the type cars we had, no. I don't think so.
They couldn't hang, could they?
No, they couldn't. I don't think they could hang. It's a lot of difference between now and what we race. A whole lot of difference.
Got that right. Sterling, when you run over Pocono this weekend, how do you think you're going to have a good? How's your car?
It's real good practice. But like I said, we're second one practice and tried some different things. Second practice was 15th and put it back like it was. And drives real good. Need to free it up just a little bit. Be right tomorrow.
All right, we're going to have fun tonight.
I'm already having fun.
I am too. It's been fun so far, and
this is the part I've really been looking forward to.
This is the Legends part of the night, and the Legends who are here are going to race against each other. They're going to race 10 laps.
Then we're going to flip them around.
And I still can't wait till we get them all together.
Flip the finishing order of the first race around, run them again. Then we'll see who's got what. The guy gets out in front and is able to hold them off and lead the race and win. That's one thing. But if you can start in the back on this tight little 3rd mile oval and race your way to the front, you got something for the main event.
And these guys can still get racing.
Oh, yeah. That's all you want for competition right there. You better make sure you pack your lunch if you want to go up against Dick Trickle on a short track on a Friday night.
One more lap around and we'll go green and see how these 5 guys can do in 10 laps.
Mild-mannered country farmer by day is Harry Gant, but when you put him in a race car at night, horns come out on his head. He wants to go, baby.
Harry Gant, who won a lot on the short tracks at Hickory and parts of North Carolina.
There they go.
Green flag is out. The Legends are racing here in New Jersey.
Look at the start Ernie gets. Drives around the outside of Trickle, brings Marcus alongside with him. Marcus and Trickle grew up racing short tracks just like this throughout Wisconsin and all over the Midwest. So it's nothing unusual for those guys to be side by side.
And Trickle hanging in on the inside of the 99. But Ernie Irvin got a great jump on the green flag and has taken the early lead.
He did, and Harry Gant's hung right in there with those guys. You see Cale Yarborough there, unable to keep pace with the faster cars. Trickle gets back to the inside of Ernie as they head down into turn 3.
Trickle and Irvin side by side. Marcus waiting for them to make a mistake.
He won't wait long. Dave likes to get on it. If they ride side by side too long, he'll push one of them ahead or out of the way, one or the other.
And there's the green 33 of Harry Gant riding in 4th. And you're right, Cale Yarborough's car just not up to snuff here.
No, but what a great battle for the lead. These 4 guys are going at it. That's got to be making Cale mad.
Oh, you know it is.
Oh, Trickle gets up on the outside, cuts Ernie off, takes the lead. Marcus to the inside.
And Irvin are side by side. How about that?
He drove it right down on the infield trying to get by Ernie.
Look at Dave Marcus hang on the inside. And meanwhile, Dick Trickle moves ahead a couple of car lengths. Irvin really has a battle but hangs on to 2nd place.
Uh-oh. Ernie got his stuff right back up on the back of Trickle. Can he make it by?
Try to get down underneath him a little bit here. Trickle holds him off. Now can Ernie Irvin hold off Dave Marcus?
Just a couple of laps to go. Marcus has gotten to the outside of Ernie, but just can't seal the deal. Ernie's got a good run off 4 up on the inside of Trickle.
Dick Trickle, who has raced on bullwhip rings like this all across the Midwest throughout his career. What a job.
There it is. Trickle gets the win.
Ernie Irvin finishes second, but Dick Trickle gets the first of the Legends races. Ernie Irvin, Dave Marcus, Harry Gant, and Cale Yarborough.
Cale just can't get that car up to speed, as we talked earlier. See Trickle pulling into the NASCAR officials there. What they'll do, Mike, now is just flip them around.
There's Darrell, who's now sitting with some of the other guys who are watching. Jimmy Spencer, Bill Elliott, Sterling Marlin. These guys are saying, okay, we'll wait till our turn. Wait till we get together with these guys.
That's good times right there. Sharing stories about the night, about racing in general, just enjoying being around some of your peers, listening to what they think about what's going on. It's going to be real interesting to see here, Mike, with Cale starting up front.
And he just doesn't have the motor tonight in that car. It's just not nothing against Cale. It's just they try to find as many equal cars as they can, and that one's just not quite as good as some of the rest of ones. There's some of the young kids who brought their flags along.
Enjoying a night at the races. It's great family fun, like I said earlier, to head out to the races. Especially on a special occasion like tonight. There you see the results of the first 10 lapper. So that means Trickle will go to the rear. We'll see if he can make his way back to the front. Ernie was very strong in that first race. See if Ernie's got anything for him too this time. Harry should be sitting somewhat in the catbird seat, Mike. We've seen a lot of guys get good starts on that outside starting row. Plus Cale's on a horse that's wounded a little bit. Maybe Harry can jump out to the lead here right quick. There they go.
Green flag is out. The second of the Legends races, and that's just what happened. You called it, Michael. Harry Gant gets a great jump. Now the other guy's going to have to battle to get around Cale Yarborough, who's a little underpowered. Dave Marcus wants to get around.
Trickle's on the inside of Ernie. Dave's trying to clear Cale.
Oh, Marcus is going to make the pass. Oh my! That's Ernie Irvin who hit the wall.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That was a huge hit.
Well, Ernie Irvin.
Hope Ernie's okay. He looks like he's fine. That was a terrible hit, though.
Hit on the right side of that car, and did some significant damage there.
They're checking on Ernie.
Record coming over.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
doing the window nets.
Ernie Irvin is A-OK.
Ernie Irvin is A-OK. That's good news. You don't like to see anybody hit with that great a force. That thing got well up into the air after hitting the wall.
There you see Bruce Patram, who heads up this race of champions, who's gone over to the car to check on Ernie.
Going under the hood to try to figure out how to get Ernie's car hoisted up off the infield so we can go back to racing. Here's a replay. Trickle's on the inside of Ernie. Looks like Trickle just slides up the hill. Those two cars touched wheels, Mike, and what it did, it just shot Ernie straight into the outside wall. You could see that car got well up on its side.
Well, as you talked about earlier, it's real easy to get these type of cars moving around on the racetrack, and that's what happened here.
Well, you see, it just was a simple function of rubber meeting rubber. Their wheels hit, and when you do that, it just takes the steering wheel and jerks it out of your hand, and you lose control of the car. They could lean on each other all night, but you could see, bam, the first thing that happens, Ernie's car jumps up in the air before hitting the wall because of the contact between his left front and Trickle's right front.
And the good news is Ernie is okay.
The bad news is we need 2 more spare tires.
Exactly.
I would have put the over-under on spare tires at just 2, and it's up to 4. So I'm missing.
You're missing on that. You are.
I'm missing a few things here.
The Harry Gant out in front, Dave Marcus running second.
This would be a good battle here. We got the fastest car of Dick Trickle. He's going to line up fourth. He'll have a good starting spot on this restart, being on the outside of Cale. He ought to be able to shoot up there right behind the battle for the lead with Gant and Marcus.
Crowd certainly liking the action that they've seen here tonight, and again they're waiting, as are we, for when these legends and the current Nextel Cup drivers get together here at the end of the night.
Who do we think's going to win?
I don't know.
You gotta like.
I'll go with Sterling.
You like Sterling?
I like Sterling.
Here's the restart, single file restart. That's going to hurt Trickle a little bit because he's stuck behind Cale. Gets to the inside of him here off 2. Should have enough power to pull alongside. Marcus is up under Harry.
Can't take it. A little work to get by Cale. Now he's going to clear him.
If these guys in front get side by side, that'll be Trickle's best friend. You know, 2 cars side by side can't make the time that one by itself can. So while those guys are battling for position, you watch Dick Trickle close in on these guys.
He is closing.
Right around the bottom of the racetrack, too, that car, number 99. Looks like it's handling perfectly.
Harry Gant, Dave Marcus. 2 legendary names in this sport.
It's got to be great for these guys to get out there and challenge each other.
Dave Marcus looks like he's about got a fender underneath Harry Gant.
He gets under him going in, but Harry chops him off pretty good. You can see right there, Harry to the bottom, leaving Dave little room. As this race wears on, Dave will become less and less patient by that move that Harry's putting on him. With that move,
Sooner or later, we're going to see, Dave make a little more aggressive move. And meanwhile, Dick Trickle has caught up with these guys.
Dave could just get there, but he loses it as they enter the corner. Now there he is. Got to go alongside Harry. They make a little contact.
Harry keeps it straight.
Marcus makes a little bit more ground on him.
This is the last lap. White flag is out.
Trickle looking to make it 3 wide. No, he can't get there, but Dave's all the way up the side, Gant.
Dave Marcus, Harry Gant, side by side. Marcus! Dave Marcus, what a great move.
Last lap, he pulled it off. He kept edging up there, creeping up on Gant every lap. Saved the best for the last.
So Dave Marcus makes a great move on the last lap and is able to get by Harry Gant.
That was fun.
Ernie Irvin, of course, okay, but not able to complete this race. And the crowd certainly liked it as...
Heck yeah. You can see the finishing order there, Mike.
Marcus, Gant, Dick Trickle, Cale Yarborough finishes 4th, and then Ernie Irvin, of course, who got into the wall, finishes 5th. It'll be interesting to see if Irvin can be a part of this race for the ages as we get set for it. Hey, he's coming back.
All right.
They found some tires. Listen to the crowd. You hear the crowd in the background there. They love the fact.
Here comes Big Ern.
And Ernie is back.
Big Ern is back.
And we'll get them all lined up and get ready to go for the race for the ages. The legends and the current stars going head-to-head here in New Jersey tonight.
On the pole, Dick Trickle alongside Bill Elliott. See those 2 guys checking each other out. Remember the horse Kerry Earnhardt was on earlier tonight. That thing would really go.
That was fast.
He had a good car. See if he can take that and put a whooping on these boys, as Harry Gant would say.
Oh, it's going to be Trickle and Bill Elliott. And then the 233s of Gant and Kerry Earnhardt.
Richard Bostic trying to get everything sorted out, making sure everybody knows what's going on. A couple laps here, they'll ride around, make sure Ernie's all situated in that car again after he walloped the wall. A lot of times, Mike, when you do that, you might bend the seat, actually lay the seat open. And so have to make sure Ernie's comfortable. There you see Spencer bringing up the rear. We'll look at the starting lineup here in a minute, see who's going to be where.
Harvick and Marcus are there on row 3, as you can see. Should be fun, though. You know, this is going to be fun. And I think the legend guys may be able out to prove a little something to the younger guys here.
Well, like I said, I think out of all the guys here, I think Dick Trickle is my man. That guy has so much experience in cars like this, on tracks like this, and he's as sharp as he's ever been, Mike. He's been setting up IROC cars ever since he quit racing Nextel Cup. So he has a job that requires him to stay sharp and be in a race car every month of the year.
Well, here's the starting lineup, and your guy, Dick Trickle, starts first. Look back through
there's
the
your
field
man
here.
Sterling.
Sterling's got to make his way up a little bit. Now the green flag is out. We'll see what happens here. 10 laps we're going.
Look at there, they're getting pretty racy. Check it out.
I'd say they're getting real racy. Harry Gant, Dave Marcus, Dick Trickle, Bill Elliott being kicked to the outside a little bit.
I bet you Bill told him to tighten that thing up after his race. You remember how sideways he was in that second race? There's Kerry down on the inside of Bill.
What, Harry Gant, Dave Marcus not letting those guys by at all. And Dick Trickle out in front. A lot of time to get the feel for things. You got to make a move, and that's what Marcus is doing on the inside.
Wow, he gave Trickle a break there, Mike. Did you see that?
Yes.
Marcus was all the way up to his door. Trickle acted like he wasn't even there.
Now Elliott's trying to make a move on Harry Gant.
That was awful kind of Dave Marcus. You could tell they go way back. He cut old Trickle a break. Can he get back up under him? He's right there again. Looks like Ernie Irvin's car's starting to smoke back there, Mike. Wonder if that's tire smoke.
Oh no, remember that was the car that saw him hit the wall in the last heat race. Trickle has led the entire way here. Boy, look at Elliott and Kerry Earnhardt bumping doors there.
We've seen Bill Elliott on the top sideways. We've seen him on the bottom sideways. But anywhere he's been one thing, and that's sideways.
All night long.
He has burned the right rear rubber plumb off that number 9 car. Check him out.
Again, look at that.
He takes up more space like that. He's harder to pass.
Boy, look at him bumping. Kerry Earnhardt able to keep it straight.
Harvick wasn't going to lay off of him. White flag. Dick Trickle holding off Harry Gant, or excuse me, Dave Marcus. Harry Gant riding third.
Last time around, and Trickle has been there the whole way, and it looks like it's going to be Trickle again with Dave Marcus second. Marcus trying to make a move there. Harry Gant third. Bill Elliott and Kerry Earnhardt.
Round out the field.
There's Trickle. Strong race for him.
I promise you that man is exactly right at home right now.
You were right.
I mean, that's where he lives, right there inside of a race car.
Just all kinds of experience. And look at the crowd. Standing ovation from a lot of this crowd here. What they came to see.
They're going to line it up and invert the finishing order from that last race and run it again. This is when it really gets interesting to me, to see who can do what from the back.
Think you ought to get your brother involved in this again?
I wonder what he's doing. He might have taken a nap. It's getting awful late. DW. You gotta start calling him a little bit before you need it. Get all his stuff together. We'll go down there and see what he thought about that first race. My pick, Dick Trickle, looked awful good. DW, what do you think?
Hey, Mikey, how about that, buddy? The two oldest guys here, Dick Trickle and Dave Marcus, run first and second in that challenge race right there. Now they're going to have to line up in the back and see if they can come through the field and make it to the front. But I tell you, I don't know what kind of cars these are, but they really, really put on a great show. And these guys, Michael, these guys are racing, buddy. They're not playing around. They're out there beating and banging on each other like it's the last lap of the Dover race.
You got that right. I've been to these deals before. It's cutthroat once the racing starts. You enjoy the day and you sign autographs and you laugh and you cut up with your buddies. You get in the race car, you don't have any friends. You want to show off. That plane ride home is what it's all about, especially if you win, because you got bragging rights and everybody, you have a captive audience. They can't get away from you. They got to listen to you tell them how you kick their rear ends.
That's great. Now, all right, one more race. The race for the ages. We're going to here's the results of the first one. We saw Dick Trickle did, and we're going to invert, as you said, and I think that's what's going to make it really exciting.
We're just going to flip it around. Fast guys in the back. A lot of people think that's the way racing ought to be, especially on short tracks where you can see the guys that have really got the hot rods cut up through there and make something of themselves.
And that's going to mean that I think that Ernie Irvin is going to go up towards the front. He is. As you see Richard Bostic there trying to get everybody sorted out and in the right positions.
Well, that car of Ernie's didn't look like he exactly had it tuned back up after his accident in the first heat there. We'll have to see. Starting on pole.
Jimmy Spencer alongside him in that black 4 car. Sterling Marlin's also up there pretty close.
Yeah, your man's ahead of mine now.
There you go. And
here we
Cale
go.
Yarborough. All right, we're ready to go.
Oh, wow. Look at the start, Ernie.
Jump by Ernie.
Took advantage of a good start.
Ernie said maybe it's not running as well as looking. Spencer.
They're not going to let that go, Mike. I think the officials up top have decided that Ernie had a bit
official up top. Yeah.
Bruce decided Ernie got off to too good of a start.
Exactly.
Richard
Yellow is out, yeah.
Richard probably had a hand in that too. He likes to call all the shots. Tells us what to do when it comes to competition. Spencer rolls right back up beside Ernie. We'll just re-rack this deal and try it again. I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see. I mean, it's asking a lot of Dick Trickle if you think he can get back through the field. I don't know if that's possible, starting last in a sprint race like this, but he's done it before.
Spencer in the 4.
Okay,
Ernie Irvin.
Much better start this time. Ernie and Spencer even into turn 1.
Ernie Irvin holding his own. Great side by side as Irvin and Spencer going at it.
Look at Spencer sideways.
Wow.
He lost control though, and Ernie gets the lead. Spencer had to rough him up a little bit though.
Went into that turn a little too hard.
Looks like Spencer's car's loose.
Dave Marcus running 3rd, Sterling Marlin 4th.
You see Kerry Earnhardt battling there with Kevin Harvick. They're just now clearing the car of Cale Yarborough. Harry Gant next on Yarborough's bumper. Spencer looks like he's got something for Ernie. Slide to the outside. We saw him lose control of that 4 car on the outside of exiting turn 2 a few laps back. Keeps him straighter this time.
Watch out for Dave Marcus. There's Dick Trickle. And as you said, he's got a tough time to come up through the field there.
Marcus looks like he's wanting to root on Ernie.
Irvin leads. Can he hold off? How about that?
Ernie Irvin.
Ernie Irvin, after hitting the wall, comes back to take the win. That's got to feel good.
That was cool.
That makes the pain of hitting the wall go away
Much better now, Ernie says.
Yeah.
He's going to also tell those boys, I think the car needed an adjustment, and I gave it to it by plowing into the outside wall.
And you know what, Dave Marcus,
he
was
was
racy here tonight.
He was all over Ernie. You got to like the way Marcus raced tonight. He had a chance a couple of times to take Trickle out in that first race. Elected to not do it, and then again, he was all over Ernie.
See the cars are pulling up to in front of the grandstand here, and the fans are loving it. They really got a show tonight.
Oh, it was great racing.
Ernie Irvan, Dave Marcus, two real legends of the sport. You see Ernie waving to the crowd.
Wow. I'd like to see those guys go at it for about 100 laps. That's just fun to watch, especially in those street stocks. Those cars are perfect for that type of competition. These guys can really sling it around and lean all over each other.
I know the crowd here, as you see, they enjoyed it. And Ernie Irvan, Dave Marcus, Sterling Marlin, Kevin Harvick with a strong run as well.
He battled that thing right to the front. We didn't think he had a horse under him earlier in the race, but obviously when it came time to pay the money, Harvick was there.
Dick Trickle made his way up to 8th. Hey, let's go down to DW.
Ernie, you won the race, baby. You won the race in a car that you about knocked the wall down with.
I mean, the wall always wins.
You fought the wall and the wall won,
yeah,
right?
because the wall won, and these guys, they just fixed it. I mean, I don't know what all was wrong with it. Right front shock was knocked off of it. But these cars are pretty sturdy. And, you know, it's not like a cup car. You can't knock the fenders off of these things. I mean, it was a great car. And, I mean, again, process of elimination. When I had to start in the back, I couldn't go all the way to the front. And so when they inverted it, next thing you know, it's just like the Winston we used to always say, you know, sometimes it's better to be slower.
Yeah, well, you know, I just wonder about something. What do you think Kim's going to say when she sees that this car up on two wheels, sparks flying out from under it? I'm sure you probably are going to have a lot of explaining to do.
We always tell her that, Bruce always tells her, says, no, trust me. I mean, we don't really race very hard. I mean, everything's real calm. That's going to be, I'm going to make sure that she's going to the bathroom for the pay-per-view.
Well, it wasn't calm. I mean, you guys were racing, and Ernie, does that give you any desire to get back out there after a little race like tonight?
I have desire every day, but again, I'm tired of waking up in the hospital wondering how I got there. So again, it's great to be able to come out and tease myself a little bit, but I know that I can't do it in a cup car and being able to do it, in 40 or 45 times, 45 guys in the race, and then also being able to go that fast and take a chance of hitting the wall. And I feel very fortunate to have done what I've done.
Yeah, well, folks, I think you can see Ernie Irvan still has a lot of talent. He still has a lot of desire, but he's also a pretty smart fellow. So a lot of fun here tonight. Great racing. It was a grand finale to a great night of racing. Enjoyed every minute of it. Michael, you should have been here. I might have been able to give you a few pointers, something, besides old school.
Oh, man, DW, I wouldn't have swapped my seat up here in the plush press box for that job you got down there on pit road. The view up here was amazing, and the competition was over the top. Check out these guys reminiscing about what happened and who did what. Dick Trickle looked strong in the first heat race, but in the end, Ernie Irvan prevailed.
Ernie Irvan. And how many times do you get to tell your brother what to do?
Never. And I'm 41 years old. I think it's the first time ever.
Well, I don't know about you, Michael, but I had a great time here tonight. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was the best. I hope everybody at home enjoyed it as much as I did. It was great.
Congrats to Ernie Irvan, and we had some fun here in New Jersey, but it's time to say so long. So for Darrell Waltrip and Michael Waltrip, I'm Mike Hogwood. Hope you had as much fun as we did.
Higher here.